Austin Tech Week at the Capitol Factory. We're on the fifth floor, right side of the Connector Plus Lounge. And Mark, you were talking about how you're a part of Capitol Factory, one of the Capitol Factory companies here. They just built such an amazing ecosystem here to help fuel and scale and drive businesses. I've really been excited to be here and be a guest with Capitol Factory this week. Mark, you are doing some really incredible things with speed and some sort of projectile.
Yes, RAM accelerator technology. But we'll talk
Awesome.
all about that. But
Yeah, tell me a little bit about yourself.
yeah, sure. So I'm actually from northern Idaho. While we do have an office here in Texas and at Capitol Factory, we our whole family's in the mining business. Actually, I'm a third generation miner,
Nice.
but I led crew capsule development for Jeff Bezos as employee 10. So I went from an underground mining family to space, and so my journey's been different than a lot of people. And
Yeah.
I'll take you through a little bit of that.
So you started drilling and being underground, and then you exited and went and just you started.
Yeah,
have you
I'll
ever
give you
actually
the whole
traveled
story.
outside of space? Have you been on one of these missions?
I've
or-
designed the vehicles with
Oh,
the
that's
team.
cool.
So actually, so as a student, I went to school for aeronautical engineering and
Okay.
aeroastro engineering. I went to Stanford, got my master's in small satellite development there, and then went on to Boeing Sea Launch and then Jeff Bezos. But after years of working for conventional space, I was looking for a new way to fly. So we came up with a technology with the University of Washington RAM Accelerator. We launched things up, down, and sideways. We actually have been funded by Shell and Exxon to solve some really cool geothermal problems, drilling for deep geothermal using impact. Some of the world's largest mining companies actually fund us to, believe it or not, use the technology that DARPA and the Army tested in the 70s. We actually can tunnel bore really fast in hard rock with this,
Wow.
and are funded to do that. And then we showed it to some folks in the government. NASA funded us, some other agencies have funded us to fly up with the technology on our path to making low-cost access to space for both things, right, cargo to space, and just high volume flight rate. Different than how it's traditionally done, but my big background in space has led us to something that's much more affordable for the rest of us.
That is so cool.
Yeah, it's quite a journey.
So tell me about your company.
Sure. So General Hypersonics originally was named Hypersciences. We've renamed it, rebranded it, and really it's a platform technology based on a simple in-tube steel tube mass driver. It actually uses natural gas and air. So think of this as an aircraft that flies through the tube. It is in and of itself in the tube, makes a jet engine. It's called a ramjet, and it rides on a shock wave, like a surfer riding a wave in the ocean.
So this is
It
not
just
like
combustion.
railgun magnetic.
It is
This
not magnetic. It
a
just
projectile.
uses compressed air and natural gas. It self-sustains the shock wave, combusting that. So it's like flying through your propellant. You never have to carry the fuel and oxidizer with you. You fly through it. It pushes you. And then at the end of the arc, you can turn on a rocket engine, go to orbit, or you can go point to point, delivering cargo and payloads downrange. So it's very good for all sorts of things on Earth. But at a small scale, we use it for other things, industrial, moving water, moving energy.
Awesome. All right, so, or possibly boring.
Tunnel boring is one of the things we do. We call it a hyper TBM, hyper tunnel boring machine.
That is really, really cool.
It's
Really
exciting.
cool. So obviously a lot of problems solved with this, but
Yeah.
tunneling is very expensive, quite dangerous. There's a lot of failure rates. A lot of people that have tried it, especially recently, for some reason, they're a lot more successful with it in 1900 than they are in 2025. But this has been a big challenge, and now more and more, it's becoming more and more challenging to do supplies. We're seeing a lot of failure rates on delivery of satellites and other things into space. So
Right.
all things where you're working to reduce cost on things that are becoming more and more important, and also have quite a bit of risk attached to it.
Correct. Yeah.
And you're doing that with a innovative application of relatively simple technology.
Yeah, it actually runs with very few parts, right? It's
Yeah.
just one part that moves through it. But that was the goal, is to create something just so incredibly simple and low cost And really, that's what the customer needs.
Yeah.
Something is access to high energy systems rather than grinding away at the rock, for instance, in tunnel boring. That's a lot of energy,
Yeah.
big problems. You can, DARPA and the Army actually showed you could tunnel bore 10 times faster, but they could never solve the cost problem. They had to use
Yeah.
munition. We just use compressed air natural gas. Again, that same technology. After leaving Blue Origin and helping, I was employee 10 there, and I said, look, rockets are just, unfortunately, they're not going to scale in the rate we need. Today, 50,000 or more airplanes will take off and land. Less than 500 rockets will take off this year and land. And it's great they're landing now, but we need orders of magnitude and we need to be able to afford that.
Yeah.
This is a very clean, compressed air, natural gas, compressed air, hydrogen, very simple elements that get us where we need to go.
Yeah, and it's not completely indifferent than my old black powder Hawkins rifle,
Yeah.
other than the fact that the fuel accelerant and projectile are more optimized to its exact purpose. But
Yeah, no, gun technology has its place, and in fact, the very first system I ever built was a 50 cal.
Yeah.
I made a 50 cal go Mach 5.
Wow.
And we made our own projectile. It was a muzzle loader. And then I just said, look, if we can simply do this on a tabletop,
Yeah.
then we can have a chance to do this. And then we tested in my grandfather's old mine. We actually built much larger scales. And then we grew and grew until we are now launching things down at Spaceport America with drill rigs. So we use really off-the-shelf gear, and we turn it into these amazing machines that can do just incredible things.
this is what I love it when founders have a skill, they have a background, they have the expertise, and then they observe a new audience of people that are experiencing pain, and they're able to create a solution for that pain for that known group of people. And obviously you have a lot of very DARPA and NASA and these folks are coming in, they're well funded, and they're able to help with that, but you're also able to come in and solve problems at the municipal level and other things with this technology, and you're solving important problems with a innovative application of pretty simple technology.
Well, we like to think so.
I love it.
It's new, right?
Yeah.
You want to be new but familiar, and changing the paradigm of, rotating machines that literally just digitally mine out. It's a little new, so it takes them some time to absorb that. Instead of launching your satellite in a rocket, you now just have a fairing and it goes through a tube. Well, what does that do? So there's a lot of education that goes on, just saying, hey, no, it's actually better and it is lower cost. Your pain point is, turns out, not always price, it's actually access. The
Yeah.
ability to not have to wait in line 18 months for a ride, or similarly underground drilling and blasting. We're actually licensed by the ATF. We can do this technology anywhere because we don't have any explosives. So it's a trade-off where people have to try something new, but generally you just have to build it.
Yeah.
And they'll now begin to adopt. And that's where Capital Factory comes in, where we can raise the capital we need to show at small scale for industrial, it works great, all the way to large scale for suborbital launch, it works great. And
Awesome.
once you're there, and that's what we're doing our Series B on right now, is finding a lead that will actually take that next step with us and be able to do the larger space flights.
Okay, so that's what's next for you all.
It
You're
is,
doing your
yeah.
Series B and then start working on space flights.
Yeah, I have a bridge round going right now.
Okay.
It's a Reg D and other investment. In fact, we just finished up with a couple investment meetings. Just, hey, you guys want to write a check that gets us from here to that Series B? So we're raising
So I
about
know
$3 million.
somebody else that is working on boring technology and space technology, and he has been funding a lot of his stuff by selling flamethrowers and hats on the internet. Just an idea, throwing that out there for you.
Yeah, Elon Musk has done some pretty and he always delivers on generally what he says he's going to do. So it's pretty amazing. I don't know him particularly. I know Jeff Bezos quite well from
I
that.
figured if
And
you
they're-
didn't know him, you'd have picked up the
Yeah.
phone.
Well, everyone looks at this, and again, you need to move to the customer from, oh, that's interesting, to that's inevitable.
Yeah.
And then from that's inevitable to it's fully integrated. And we're in that transition from it works, now let's actually show those key proof points. And then I think you will garner the attention of some of these other guys that are
Absolutely.
spending good money at these problems. But flamethrowers, yeah, that was classic Elon.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I've really been enjoying my conversations here at Austin Tech Week. Mark, how do people find you?
Yeah, literally, you can go to generalhypersonics.com and look at our website, mark@generalhypersonics.com, email anytime. Always happy to talk to somebody about what we're doing. Customers, particularly, that have problems that we can solve. We
Yeah.
can go through and solve some very, very hard problems for people. So.
And anybody interested in helping with that B round, I'm sure you'd love to hear from them too.
Yeah, or the bridge right now, it's open. We've got a couple of $1 million available, and that's what we're offering. It's a Reg D. I can actually say, hey, it's a discount to our Series B, and anyone that's an accredited investor can make an investment.
Awesome.
Just 20K minimums to come in, and I do this every week. It's just most of my time spent, making sure we match the government money that's coming in with private investments. So that's why we're a capital factory. It's
Awesome.
raising money.
All right, so this is Austin Tech Week. We have 1 hour left, so if you want to get your voice heard here on the Voice of the Founder with Catalyst Effect here at Capital Factory, come on down. We are at the 5th floor and the Connector and the game room right side of the Connector Plus Lounge. Had some really amazing conversations. Austin Tech Week is running all through the rest of the week. So if you are a founder, come on down here to the Capital Factory and enjoy the rest of Austin Tech Week.